Hello and welcome to Let Me Bore You to Sleep. My name's jasonnewland. My website is jasonnewland.com. And please only listen when you can safely close your eyes. So hi, welcome. Blah, blah, blah. Welcome to So, before I start, I'd like to do my, what's it called? My gratitude journal. I have a gratitude journal. Yeah. And at the beginning of these recordings, now I put in 3 things that I'm grateful for. First one is I'm grateful that this microphone isn't actually in my mouth. Couldn't get any closer, could you? Blimey. It's practically, I'm going to move it away, it's annoying me. Honestly, it was like, I like you as a friend, okay? Wow. So, there's oh man, I saw these new microphones that I want to get. They're I can tell you what they are because I've saved them on my Amazon. But they're way too expensive, so it's going to take me a long time to get that money together, so to buy these. But they're called AKG C414 XLII or LL2 or whatever. Stereo set of 2 condenser microphones for wide studio. So basically what I would have is, and they have covers, like square covers. So they have one there and one there. Oops. So the right ear would be there, the left ear would be there. I'd have both the microphones plugged in to 2 different channels in the studio. So when you listened on, you know, with headphones, you would hear the right. So if I went like that, and then you'd hear it in different ears. I mean, I probably wouldn't actually go. That might not be wanted. I don't know. It might not be popular. But I thought, and they're supposed to be really good, and also for the ASMR whispering, because I've got a few microphones and I'm trying to play around and find which is the best microphone for whisper, because these are good for talking. These are good. This one here is a good microphone. What microphone is it? I don't know. Let's have a look. What microphone have I got? Can't be that long ago that I bought it. Blimey, maybe it was last year. Was it this year? Oh no, I know why. Because no, it would have been this year that I got this microphone. Oh come on, that's the last 3 months of 2022. Come on, where's the microphone? 3. I just want to be able to tell you what it is. I suppose I could just look at the microphone, but that would involve moving my head, and I'm just not prepared. Oh, there it is. It's an Electro Voice RE20 broadcast announcer microphone with variable D, whatever that means. Now, this is a really good microphone. It's, you know, it's not, you can spend £100,000 on a microphone. This isn't really? No, it's not £100,000. But I got that in July, August, September, October, November. So yeah, I've had it 4 months. This, and I've actually put I put this black thing, the pop filter. There's a pop filter there, but also this here, because I'm trying to cut down on the S's, and because I I got a little bit of a lisp. And I didn't realise until I started, until someone mentioned it, funny enough. Until someone kindly mentioned it to me. And I was like, oh, thanks. So I got a bit of a lisp. And as I'm playing with my pen, P-E-N, no other words, just pen, no other letters on that. So I didn't take that much notice when I edited. For me, editing was about getting rid of the horrible sounds in the background, like a rattling window or whatever, to try and make it sound as okay as possible. Now, as I've improved the quality of the equipment, now it's really focusing on my voice to make my voice sound a bit better. Not my voice as in, I don't try and change how my voice sounds, but the things in between the words when I'm going, and I'm making all these weird sounds, which I didn't realise I made. So trying to clean that up, trying to get rid of those sounds. But then you know what I'm doing? What am I doing? I'm doing what YouTubers do. Deleting the gap between the individual words. And that's not what this is about. This isn't about like some fast-paced video or, podcast speaking like a 1960s salesman. It's not about that. Double glazing salesman. Oh, what a little car. Buy this Porsche. $4.99. The best you'll ever see. That's not really what I'm about. This is about slowing down. This is about, being calmer. To me, that's what this is about. So, I think it's just about, but I also do want to clean up the audio. I want to make the audio as good as possible, and the video. So I made a video a couple of days ago, and I was probably 15 minutes into it, and the video just cut off. So I was making a podcast at the same time. I'm thinking of maybe getting some kind of little microphone system just to, as a backup in case the studio it cuts off or something happens like that. Just so I don't lose the recording, don't lose that hour of my time. Although the hour of my time will have gone, but it wouldn't have been in vain, necessarily. But do I need to delete the breaths? The thing is, the breath, it sounds more prominent because I'm so close to the microphone. Now, I'm pretty sure if you was in a room with me talking, you wouldn't hear me breathing. But it sounds like my breathing's really heavy, and it's not. It's not like that at all. It just sounds a bit like that in between the words. And I see, I'm now doing it on purpose. So, and it's like, it just shows up. And I think that's because the better the audio gets, the more the more prominent some of the sounds are. So I've got two filters. I've got the filter at the front, pop filter, the metal one that came, I had to buy it separate, but it was part of this. And then this thing, that is actually from another microphone, that there's a black pop filter thing. Now I should really look to see if there's a pop filter for this. But something I do need to do, I need to figure a way of soundproofing the window. so that I can't hear the neighbours in the garden, you know, stuff like that. Because I wanted to make some recordings earlier today, because now it's nearly 8:30 in the evening. I wanted to make some recordings during the day, but there was just, foghorn was out there, and there was people just talking quite loudly, and I don't really want that in the background of my recordings. I just don't. And it's, I don't know if it always actually shows up on the recording anyway, but I can hear it and it distracts me. But I would like to find a way of the equivalent of blacking out the windows from the light, but blacking it out from the sound. Now, I've got a few ideas. I've gone online. Nothing really sort of seems suitable. I mean, there's like soundproof curtains, but I mean, I think there's a particular voice, I think you'd need like an underground bunker. You'd still hear that person. It's got to just happen to have a very loud voice. So there's nothing wrong with that, and they're a perfectly wonderful person, I'm sure. So I don't know. It's kind of, I'd like not to hear it, but it comes with where I live. This is part of the environment. Doesn't bother me personally, usually, you know, but when I'm making a recording, which is weird because I'm making a relaxing recording and I'm getting angry inside. So that, you know what I mean? It's not really, doesn't really fit together, does it? So, see? Gratitude journal. Oh, okay, yeah, and the video ran out. And the reason for that is because the disc was full. And for some reason, the disc just wouldn't work properly. So I got myself is it 250 something gigabyte disc, which is now in there, which gives me, according to the screen, because on the camera there's a flip over screen, I'm using the SV1, the Sony SV1 vlogging camera, and it says there's 8 hours 45 minutes left, and I've used nearly 14 minutes. So yeah, that makes sense. So I had 10 hours off of that disc. Still's not a lot, is it really? And I tried to put on 4K, and I don't understand it, because I've gone online. 4K should give me at least, I think, about 3 hours. I'm lucky if I get 10-15 minutes out of 4K video, which, I mean, this is high definition and all that stuff, which is, it should be soft focus. It should be. I didn't know, but I hope so. But, you know, 4K, it makes sense to just do things at the highest possible quality, I guess. And like, okay, what kind of size, what size disc do I need? Because 256 or whatever gigabytes is quite a lot. That's a lot. Now, if an hour recording, I mean, 256 gigabytes. If I made a recording that was that large, how long would it take to upload to YouTube? I mean, think about it. That would take like days, wouldn't it? It's huge, absolutely huge sized file. And then when YouTube get it, they compress it. So you might upload a like a 50 gigabyte file to YouTube. Whoops, banged the microphone. But they compress it down to maybe, I don't know, 4 gigabytes, maybe less than 100 gigabytes, 100 megabytes, maybe 300 megabytes. So they compress it way, way down. Otherwise, it wouldn't be able to stream. Can you imagine, like a 50 gigabyte, what kind of internet connection you would need to stream a 50 gigabyte YouTube video? If your internet connection was like mine, is like 30 megabytes a second. So what's that, 300 megabytes a minute? No, it's not right, is it? I don't know. 30 megabytes a second, 37 megabytes a second, something like that. So I don't think I'd struggle. Yeah, I probably wouldn't be able to stream such a large file without buffering, I think. So YouTube do definitely compress. So it's the only way that they can stream billions of videos every day to people around the world. So there, what is the point in uploading in 4K then? As long as it's not webcam level. But I see some videos on YouTube and the quality of the videos, not great. The content's really good, but you know, even some of the really popular videos, it's like they're not worried anymore about the actual visual quality. And maybe that's because there's a certain level there's no point doing. If you get like, you know, a 10, 20,000 pound camera and you film it all like a movie and you upload it and it still plays back in the same quality, like high definition maximum. I don't know. I'm making some of this up, but it seems like it might be true. So Friday 28th. What month is it? March? No. October 22. What is I grateful for? Alright, okay, so the camera ran out. And then what I did is, because I can use it plugged in without battery. Well, it has to have a battery in it. Or does it? Because it doesn't charge the battery while it's in. While it's turned on anyway. I'm not sure. Anyway, yeah, I don't think it charges while it's recording. So I got myself some batteries. This size there. Get them in, and they got a rechargeable base. You put them in 3. Got them from Amazon. They came through the next day, and I was like, brilliant. So now I can put a fully charged battery in. I haven't got to have the camera attached to the socket. It can just be a bit more freer without cables and stuff. And I can just relax, and I can see the battery life. So it's fine, you know. I can make a video and then take the battery out when needed. Too big. These were too big. I couldn't put them in. It's too large. Could not get it into the hole. The hole was too small. So I had to go, and this is what came up when I put in rechargeable batteries for the Sony ZV-1. This is what came up as the results. So I had to do some more research, and now I found ones that actually were for them. So I got some more coming tomorrow. These are Power Trust 2-pack NP BX1 NP BX1 battery recharger for Sony DSC. Oh, wait a minute. Oh my goodness, it's not even saying. It did say. Oh yeah, also for the ZV-1 vlog digital camera, which this is. So, so that's good. There's only 2 rechargeable batteries, but that's all I need. I'm not, if I decide to go out and make videos outside, I don't know how long the batteries last for, but if it's an issue and I go out and they run out, I'll just get another charger, because they're pretty cheap. So I'll just get another couple of batteries with a charger, or maybe look to get a larger one if there is such a thing. I don't really know how it works. I wonder if it's, I didn't give an option to get more. Sometimes, on YouTube, they give you an option. You can choose 2 batteries or 4 batteries or a billion batteries. And it just gives you a choice. This just had 2 batteries. They're lithium. So I don't know. Now this is what I'm thinking of doing. I'm thinking, but then I don't know because of the cost of the cards. How much did that card cost? 256 gigabytes is the memory card for this. So it can only hold 10 recordings. But then it costs £38.49, which is... I don't understand how it can just... yeah, this is video for video. Audio, blimey, you can... huge amounts audio. So, what's £38 divided by 10? £3.80. £3.80, yeah. So £3.80 and 49 pence. No, £3.84. £3.84 per recording. It's costing me. If I just use the disc once and I store the disc so that I don't lose my recordings. I know I can transfer them, but it's huge. These are big files. They take up so much space. It's, if you look at, so 256 gigabytes, 1,000 gigabytes is a terabyte. So the cost of a 1 terabyte disc, and they're not huge, but they're a little bit chunky, £140 or something, which is still cheaper than that though, isn't it? 38, 3, 6, 9, 12, 34. It's about 100. Yeah, it's roughly the same kind of price, I guess. I could experiment with it. By the way, this is supposed to be boring. Just it's not supposed to be this boring, but it is supposed to be kind of boring. In my last video, I was sweating. It was so hot in here. I think the radiators must have been on. And literally, I was watching the video and it's dripping down. Also, if you're looking at me and thinking, why doesn't he sort his beard out? Doesn't he know how ridiculous and smelly his beard looks? Yeah, I'm aware of it. It's purpose. I'm doing this on purpose. I'm growing it to be really wild. And it does need trimming, but I'm letting it grow over my lip as well. Because I know that will annoy people. Well, actually, it annoys me. I get a thrill out of annoying myself, that's a really strange thing to say, isn't it? I enjoy annoying myself. That is probably the weirdest sentence that you will hear for a while. I enjoy annoying myself. I can't believe that came out of my mouth. Now, some weird things have come out of my mouth over the years, but I just wow, I enjoy annoying myself. My hair needs sorting out, but I didn't have it cut that long ago, as I waggle my finger. And it was August, or maybe even the beginning of September, I had my hair cut. Maybe it was August, end of August. So it's only just a month and a half ago. I don't think I need to worry too much, but it's starting to get a little bit curly at the sides. A little bit, you know. I've got very, very curly hair. Now, you can't tell from looking at it because some of you say, well, you don't actually have any hair, do you? I do, a little bit. I don't have much, but what I do have is curly. Yes, curly. So I'm gonna look into this. I'm gonna look into it. Triple pack, 128, 16, 10, 32, 128. All right, it's actually triple pack, 32 triple pack is $17.99. So that's 369, 98 gigabyte for £18. So that's, let's say £20. That's 100 gigabyte. So 200 gigabyte. Anyone? 200 gigabyte is £40. Yeah, I'm trying to think of a way. I get the SanDiscs, which are kind of top of the range, but there probably is cheaper versions that will do the job. In fact, I've just found, wait a minute, let's have a look at this. So single pack 64, 256. I'm going to see, I can find 65, 256. I'm just having a look, see if I can find some even cheaper ones. Wow, 512 gigabytes, which, yeah, it should be fine. Should be fine. SanDisk 10, which is 512 gigabytes, £84.99. So what I might do is get like the case that was on there and just put them into the case to store them, because then they're done, then they're stored, because I've lost hundreds and hundreds of videos and audio recordings over the years due to my lack of, well, it's not always been me, it's not always been, I mean, yeah, I guess it is really. I haven't backed stuff up. Sometimes I've had stuff closed. If I go back to 2008, I had a podcast host, and it was my first podcast host. Brilliant. I think it was actually called Free Podcast Host or something. freepodcast.com, something like that. Let me check it, because I'm sure it might still be there. Podcast.com. Free like the country. Freepodcast.com. No, it's gone. The website's gone. So, well, it probably would be by now, wouldn't it? It may be for sale. Ah. So I had something like, I think it was, because I remember I was showing off at college, and I was, college? But you're 105 years old. How can you be at college 10 years ago? Well, first of all, it's 15 years ago. And secondly, I was old. I was an old student. I started university when I was 37. Yep. So I remember I went to, I was kind of showing, because they want to know what I did. Some of the people on the course, so what do you do, Jason? And I thought, okay, well, I make podcasts and videos. And the good thing about doing stuff online being a content creator, whether it's video or podcasts or whatever, I guess, you can show people, like, here we go. So I showed them my YouTube channel, which was thriving at the time. It was going okay. I'd had it for, I hadn't had it that long, really, had I? Like a year or so, year and a half, 2 years. Was it 2007? I think I got my YouTube channel. Was it? I think so. Or 2006. Anyway, so so I showed them that. Then I showed them my podcast, which was more impressive because I'd had 100,000 downloads of my podcasts, and I was like, really, yay! And they weren't impressed. No one's ever been impressed with anything I've done. It's not fair. And I remember that place because I stored everything on there, and I kept thinking, I need to back this stuff up. And we're going back, I said 2008, I had a laptop. It didn't have huge storage. I mean, even some of the laptops today don't have huge storage. I got a laptop behind me, which is it's a good laptop. It's also like, touch screen and a laptop at the same time. So it's like, I turned the volume down so I wouldn't hear that. Blimey. Damn you, I just got an Instagram thing. Why would I need to know that someone posted something on Instagram? Why would I ever need to know that? What possible... Why? Why would I need to know that? It's really weird because I try and turn off notifications for everything. Honestly, if I was on a transplant list, I would even probably turn off the notifications from the NHS hospital app letting me know when there's a transplant available. I just don't like notifications. It's just, hopefully I wouldn't be that stupid, but I can't stand notifications. It's annoying. Like all these weird noises, like, shut up. I mean, you never notify you to let you know that you've won some money, do they? Like, by the way, we want to give you £1,000. There's £1 million for you. No, don't get notifications like that. Notifications someone wants to have sex with you. No, that's what's never happened to me. So, moving on. What am I grateful for? Nothing now. I was before. Now, what am I grateful for? I'm grateful is my upper back, left-hand side, like shoulder area, back is hurting. It's been hurting for about a week now. But I did some weights yesterday, and it seemed to ease it off a bit. So that was loud, wasn't it? So I'm going to do some more weights later, and that should do it. I just need to be a bit more consistent with everything. That's the word of the day. That needs to be the word of the year. And I've watched hundreds upon hundreds of YouTube videos on almost like YouTube best practices. And I don't follow hardly any of them. But one of the things, and it's not just YouTube, it's I turned the volume down. Oh, Billie Eilish is on tour. Who cares? Why are you telling me that? How do I get rid of this? Otherwise I'm going to have to turn the phone off. This is my iPad. Notifications. Where's notifications? This is notifications. Okay, fair enough. Instagram off. Damn you. I don't know why it was on, because I've turned notifications for everything off. Oh, I've never been so angry. So I can't remember what I was saying now. What was I saying? I was saying something. I'm sure I was. I must have been. So what am I grateful for? I'm grateful that I've finally decided to use the camera that I purchased specifically for this purpose. Now you could argue, yeah, what do you mean for this purpose? What other use would you have for a camera other than a video camera other than to make videos? Okay, fair enough. That's a good argument. But, you know, I saved up for this. I spent ages. I waited for about eight or 9 months to buy this video camera. And then when I got it, I just couldn't use it. So I just got frustrated with it. And I realised now it's because I didn't have an SD card in it, so it wasn't working. I couldn't figure that out for a while. And I watched some tutorials. The weird thing is I watched tutorials before purchasing it, but none of it stuck in my head. And then once I actually purchased it, I tried to figure it out on my own. And it turns out that all I really needed to do is just point it at myself and press record. Have it plugged into the socket, into the mains. Have an SD card that works, that's got storage on it. And just record. I know my way around some of the controls because I played around with them. So there's certain things that are not good, you know, but it's basic. It should pretty much be the same as before, but I don't know if it's given like a soft filter as the ones before did. If it's not, then I can go back and change that. But either way, you're just going to see my big funny shiny face, a pink face with a weird beard. That rhymes, doesn't it? A weird beard. And it's going to get worse. It's going to get much, much worse. And I'm looking forward to that because it's now a proper beard. You know, it's gone from, you can say, what do you mean it's a proper? Well, a month ago, it was nothing. I shaved it off. So this is pretty much a month's worth of stubble, really, to make this. Now, by what are we looking at? What is it now? November. It's nearly November. November this month, this weekend. Is it? What day is it? The 28th today. 29th tomorrow, which is Saturday. Sunday's the 30th, and then Monday's 31st. So Tuesday will be the 1st of November. It's Guy Fawkes night on the 31st, so that's Monday. The clocks go either forward or back. They go back for an hour on Sunday evening. Or is it Saturday evening? Yeah, Saturday evening. So, like midnight Saturday or something. So the clocks go back an hour. So if you're doing a night shift, you'll be working an extra hour. I've done that. I remember I worked in a nightclub and the clocks went back. Like I worked till 2 o'clock and I was packing up and like everyone just stopped and looked at me. I literally turned the music off and started to pack all the CDs away because I was DJing. And everyone was just looking at me. And the manager came and said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, it's 2 o'clock." I said, "If anything, it's 2:05. I'll let it go a little bit longer than normal." And they said, "No, it's now 1 o'clock or 1:05. You've still got another hour left." I said, "No, I haven't. Look." Because in those days, phones didn't automatically reset themselves. Like the iPhone, it sets itself to the time, you know. So if you wake up on a Sunday with I'm guessing, probably most phones, it resets itself. And it's the same with laptops and stuff. So you don't have to change the time. In them days, you had to manually do it. So I'm looking at the watch. I didn't have a watch, but I probably got my phone out and said, "Look, it says 6 minutes past 1. No, 6 minutes past 2. That's the right, yeah." And he said, no, and he said, look, the clocks have come back. I said, oh, of course it is Halloween, isn't it? Because that's, I always connect the two. So Halloween, I've got, actually I got two memories of Halloween. One is not a very nice memory, so I won't mention that one, but, I got quite a nice memory of Halloween. It was at the comedy club, actually, and there was this waitress called something or other, and she was dressed as a vampire, and she was wearing a corset, and she had really big hair and blood like coming down her cheeks and dripping onto her neck and stuff. And I think she'd been working there for a little while, but I really liked her. And I really liked her on that night. I really wow. I've never seen, I've always been attracted to vampires. I've always, it's because when I was a child, I was raised by vampires. It's because when I was a child, I used to love watching vampire movies. And especially, to be fair, I used to really love the black and white movies, like not just vampire, but werewolves or Frankenstein or any kind of really old Hammer House horror, like Christopher Reeve, Vincent Price is more kind of a little bit later, but Bela Lugosi, Boris Karloff, all those real huge stars of that time, the horror stars. And I love them. I still love them. Like even now, I love them because they were atmospheric. They weren't gory because that wasn't allowed. The black and white ones, would be lucky to see, well, I say lucky, but you wouldn't really see any kind of flesh. There's no nudity. They wouldn't even be much in the way of kissing. It's like the old-fashioned Hollywood kiss where they kept their mouths closed and like that. And it's like two dolphins trying to arm wrestle or something. I like that stuff. I do. I used to love watching the old black and white horror movies. And then the Hammer House, when they brought out the colour movies with Christopher Lee and what's his name? Who used to play his arch enemy quite a lot, but they were really cool as well. But they were a bit more scarier. They did have the atmosphere, but I didn't find them as atmospheric as the black and white ones. I'm not quite sure why, really. I don't know. Maybe the music in the original black and white movies the music was better, maybe. I'm not sure. But I liked all of them. I mean, one of my favourite actors was Vincent Price, because he was so good, so funny as well in some of the movies he was in. And he kind of brought comedy to the horror. Even when he was playing really disgustingly horrible, sadistic characters, it'd still be funny. It's still like, as they talk like this, and I'm going. That's probably not a good impression. That wasn't really an impression of anything, was it? It was an impression of me just making weird noises. So I can't wait. Soon the hairs will be just long enough like from my top lip to reach down. I'll be able to play with them with my teeth, and the hairs there as well will be long enough. They're not yet, but another week or two I'll be able to stick them in between my teeth and play with them. It's a never-ending toy. Honestly, it's a pleasure that doesn't end. Pleasure that, oh, it's wonderful. I can't wait. I've never been so excited. So Christmas is coming. That's going to be my Christmas present, this beard. I kind of think it's a Christmas present for everyone. I think it's a joyous thing, especially, you know, around Christmas, Father Christmas / Santa Claus, you know, the big old bushy beard. That's me. Red face, that's me. Big bushy beard, overweight, big fat belly, that's me. Big sack. And of course there's all the things he carries his toys around in. So, you know, it's on the sleigh. So yeah, I kind of am probably about 43% centre. So I oh yeah, my gratitude journal. What am I grateful for? I'm grateful for my camera working. Okay. What else? Food deliveries. Now, I got a food delivery yesterday, or last night actually, and it's just so handy. The delivery person seemed a bit off with me, a bit like, distant. I mean, I'm thinking, did I smell? I mean, I shouldn't smell too bad. I mean, it's only been 3 or 4 months since my last wash. I should be still fine. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he was tired. It was, you know, it was at night time and he was ready to go to bed or go home. But he was like, really, he just didn't seem to want to talk. And at one point I just said, well, okay, fair enough. So I took the chairs and put them back in my flat, folded the table up. I mean, I thought he'd want to sit down and have a chat. He just didn't. I mean, I made him sandwiches and everything. It was just like, what's the point? What's the point in doing all that stuff? Making cakes, sandwiches for the delivery driver if they're not going to sit down and have a little bit of a natter, it's a little bit of company, isn't it? So, you know, weren't interested. As for the movie that I was, you know, preparing to watch with him, he didn't want to do that either. Like the last resort was, well, can we just have a little dance? I mean, I've got some music playing. I've hired an orchestra, a little band. It's not a big band, just enough to fit into the cupboard, into the bedroom. Can we have a little dance? Or he said no. So the last resort is walking down the stairs. What about a wrestle? Just a little wrestle, but nothing. I mean, try and make friends. You know, you put some effort in. Try and make new friends, and it doesn't always work. I mean, I'm still going to be proactive. I'm still going to put my effort in to make new friends, but sometimes I just think, oh, you know, just, oh, you know, why? All that effort. 3 days it took me to prepare for that delivery. Yeah, the sandwiches were a bit stale, but, you know, perhaps I should have done the sandwiches last. I suppose choosing the movie wasn't the last thing I needed to do. Could have done that first. But then if I'd done that, I'd have been stuck because I wanted to watch other things. I wanted to choose the movie because I had to go through all the different streaming channels to choose a movie that would be suitable for a nice for a nice friendly buffet. You know, sandwiches, cakes, jelly deals. Barbecue might have been a bit over the top, but the plane with a sign writing, "Be my friend?" ? I mean, maybe that was over the top. Besides, you know, it's dark, so I don't think you could see it, which is probably not a bad thing. But I'm not lonely, it's fine. So number 3, I'm grateful for... What am I grateful for, baby? Come on, think of something. What am I grateful for? I know it's going to sound strange. This is kind of a similar thing to food deliveries. And I know that some people are like, oh, you know, because everyone's got an opinion, have they not? What do they say? Opinions. So I said to me once, no, someone said to me, oh, I said, that's my opinion. He said, well, opinions are like arseholes. And I thought about it. I said, oh, is it because it leaves an aftertaste? Because of the aftertaste. He said, what? I said, nothing. I said, why are they like arseholes? He said, oh, because everyone's got one. I said, oh, okay. It's not the aftertaste then. So, number 3, I'm going to say Amazon. How can you say Amazon? Easy. Amazon. It's easy. I practiced. I mean, it took me a while. I was like, now I can do Amazon. I can say it. See, took a while. That's how I can say it. It's not, you know, for some people who go out, go into shops, go to supermarkets, go into malls, go, you know, have a access, they drive, you know, they can go to places. You know, the normal world is brilliant for them and has been. And the internet is an option. For me, the internet is a solution rather than an option. I mean, it means I can get what I need without having to go out, without having to sit on a bus and travel. So I can eat, and I've got milk, and I've got breakfast cereal, and I've got stuff that I need when I need it, rather than running out. Which is a good reason to get delivery, so that because otherwise I'd run out of stuff. Amazon, for me to get some of the stuff I get on Amazon, I'd have to actually go to other websites, I guess, but I'd need to go to specific shops and maybe even go to a different town to get stuff that specialise in these things, like microphones, for example. I might have to go all the way to London, or go to the music shop and order the microphone or the equipment, and then they deliver it within, you know, a couple of weeks, or then I have to go in and collect it. Why go through that when I can just order it and get it delivered the next day or within a few days? You know, and I'll be honest, I don't care if it's the next day or if it's in 3 days. Generally, I'm not that bothered. I ordered something last night and it was too late and couldn't get it delivered today, but it'll be delivered tomorrow. don't care. I'm not usually, it's rarely, well, they're not really emergency things that I order on Amazon. The only time was like 2019 when it was very hard to get hold of toilet roll. So I was ordering toilet roll on Amazon at a premium, I would say. And some of the other things that it was also, I couldn't get deliveries. The supermarkets were happy to take my money for the previous 6 years delivering here. But as soon as 2009 kicked in, 2019, 2020, well, specifically 2019, I couldn't get deliveries because I wasn't on their list, as it were, even though I am categorized as disabled. Like literally, I'm in that category. Not physically, but I do also have my lower back problems, like arthritis in my lower back, physically. So I can physically lift stuff and I can carry stuff. So I'm not weak, but I really feel it afterwards, if that makes sense. It's like, oh, so I can help someone carry a washing machine out of their flat and into, somewhere upstairs or something. I wouldn't want to, but I've done it in the past, and I've had to lay down for 2 hours because I just really put too much pressure on my back. I also end up being about 3 inches shorter. That's not good. I don't know why I lie. Why do I lie? I lie so much. It's ridiculous. I don't think anything. Have I said anything true today? I'm not even sure. I'm not sure. So they're the 3 things. I know technically my gratitude journal today is it's not particularly emotional. It's not spiritual. It's not any kind of self-development-y stuff. But, it's what I am grateful for the camera working, being able to use a camera. I am grateful for the food deliveries, and I'm grateful for Amazon because Amazon does deliver me the stuff that I need. And sometimes when I can't get anywhere else. There's times when I actually got toothpaste from Amazon because I couldn't get it anywhere. Because there was, we weren't allowed out. I couldn't get deliveries. I mean, what? And there's no local shops. The only local shop is a garage, and they don't sell toothpaste in there. So what was I supposed to do? Wasn't allowed out during lockdown. Couldn't get deliveries. Didn't have anyone to help me. Yeah, it was a very, very weird situation. So I got stuff online. And I remember, oh man, it was expensive. But then I also got help. I got people, some of my listeners sent me some stuff, and amazing. I've got the best listeners in the world, honestly. The people that listen to my podcasts are the best. Without a doubt. I don't tell them I said that. I don't want them to know. But they are brilliant. Very supportive to what I do, and brilliant. And I'd say the same about my YouTube. I don't know why I'm laughing about that. To my YouTube subscribers as well. It's a little bit different because I've lost touch with YouTube over the years. I'm only kind of coming back to it. So there are people that have been subscribed to me for a couple of years. Some people have subscribed to me on and off for the last decade. The different channels I've had. But this is kind of not a comeback, but a continuation. This is kind of me now, rather than where I was in 2010 or 11 or 12. 2012 was probably my, or 11 and 12 was my peak time on YouTube. And then, or 11, 12, 13. And then it all went, I kind of deleted that channel. And although I opened another channel probably about 2015, I don't know how long I've had this channel open. It might be that long. I don't know. It might be 7 years. I don't think so, though. I think I've had this for about 4 years. I should look. Let me have a look. Let me find out when YouTube. Does it tell you? I wonder if it tells me your channel, YouTube Studio. How long have I had the channel? Copyright, customization, settings. Where does it say? Where do it say settings? Channel. Advanced settings. Permissions, community. Nope. Copyright. Nope. Analytics. So if I go to analytics, see if I've got lifetime. Does it say lifetime anymore? It don't, do it? Oh yes it does. Wait a minute. Back. Cancel. So if I go to lifetime, I can see exactly. Right. According to this, 15th of March 2018. So 4 years I've had this channel. And I'll be honest with you, I've had tiny views so far on YouTube. With this channel, I've had 76,000 views and 21,000 hours. 659 subscribers I've got at the moment. Now, I don't know how, I think the views might not be right and the hours might not be right because I deleted over 1,000 videos. So I think that it might have been a lot more than that had I not deleted. I think, I'm not sure. I've only got one video with any kind of views, and that's the Try and Stay Awake Hypnosis Challenge. And that was from 2011. Although I put it on there in March 2018. 7,509 views. And 53% who watched that video watched the whole thing. So that's I've got like a very irregular returners that watch that video, because I deleted it a few times and people have come back and said, where's that video? So I put it on there, I've left it on there, but I got rid of everything else. And the only videos I got now are the most up-to-date ones. You know, as far as, let me have a look. If I put in content, 18th of July, and then 13th of August. So basically from pretty much August onwards has been the main time that I've been posting videos. But not many either. Like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in August. September 2022. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 in September. In October, which is this month, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This will be the 8th. The last one was the 24th, so that's 4 days ago. So yeah, I'm I'm okay with that. It's just another avenue. It's another avenue to access what I do, and I'm grateful for that. I should write that down. I'm grateful, but to be fair, the thing I'm probably most grateful for, generally, like overall, is that I've got this to do. That I created this thing, these videos and these podcasts, because if I hadn't done that back in 2006, I don't know what I'd be doing now. I don't know what. Would I just be sitting watching TV all the time? Would I be maybe I'd be doing a lot better. I don't know. There's no way of knowing, is there? I might be happy. I might be married. I mean, I don't know. I might be a pilot. I might have got into aviation. Who knows? I might be living in Canada. I might be, the world. It's so easy, isn't it? Like, you just meet someone new and that leads to something else, or you get a job and that leads to something else. And, like, oh, you mean I can go and do this same job, but in Canada? So I can go live somewhere nice. Wow. And then, because I love bears, you see. And like, okay, that sounds good. So I could end up in Australia or in America, or who knows where I could have ended up? Who knows where I will end up? But the thing is, because it's a Friday evening, I know a lot of people will be out on a Friday evening. Not just young people, but people of all ages will be out, cinema, in a pub, in a club, in a bar, in a restaurant, a disco, roller skating, or climbing walls, those wall climbing places you go to. Cinema, did I say? Theatre, of course, theatre. Watching theatre stuff. And I'm sitting here making podcasts. So this is how I've spent the last 16 years of my life. Doing this. On a Saturday night, Friday night, well, pretty much every night. When I was working, this is what I do in the evening and at weekends. And this is what I do. It's just what I do. It kind of become part of me, really. It has become me. It's almost, I don't know, just what I do. I make podcasts and I make videos, and at the moment I'm doing both at the same time now. And that suits me, actually. Because I know if I just start, okay, I want to make a video, I'm going to do it separate. Make videos for YouTube, do podcasts for the internet, for my listeners, and do separate things. But I know that I'll make a video and I'll think, oh, that would make a good podcast. And I'll make a podcast and think, well, that would have made a good video. So I'll just do both at the same time. Why not? It's just more work, that's all. It's more time consuming to set it up. It doesn't take a huge amount to set it up. But afterwards, the uploading, the editing, all that stuff. So yeah, it's 3 times the work than just doing a podcast. Because video, maybe 4 times actually. Because it's just it's more effort to put in. It's more time consuming, and I do the very basic editing. Now, if I want to be more professional, I will need to start learning to use the software like the other like professional software, maybe Adobe. The good thing about Adobe is because I do podcasts and video, they've got editing software for audio and for video, but they kind of link them together. So I've been watching some tutorials for audio, and because at the moment I pay £100 or just over £100 for this software online, which edits the audio. It doesn't take out it basically it improves the quality of, like, tries to, like, I think dampen down background sound, but then increases the volume, so it's at a proper podcast level. Now, I can do that myself once I learn how, which is a kind of a strange sentence, because obviously it's like, well, that doesn't that stand for everything? You know, you can do anything once you learn how to do it. Okay, so I can learn how to box, but it doesn't mean I can get into a boxing with a professional and last for more than, 5 seconds without being knocked out. And that would be with any weight. If I got into a ring, even with someone half my weight, they would knock me out. Or, okay, mate, but they would beat, they would win, because they're a professional boxer, and I'm a 52-year-old fat man, and it doesn't matter how much I train at boxing, I'm not going to be a boxer. I'm never going. Well, it's illegal. I can't be a professional boxer. No one would give me a license. And also, so I can learn to do something doesn't mean I can actually do it. You know what I mean? That's where I'm going with that. I know you can learn how to do operations from books. That's where they learn. And then from experience. But you can learn pretty much anything. You can learn how to build a plane. You can learn quantum physics. You could get a lot of that stuff just from watching YouTube videos. Everything's available online. If you know where to look, and if you've got the money as well, because some stuff is expensive. Not everything is free on the internet. Used to be, didn't it? Do you remember? Do you remember when you never had to pay for an album? Never had to pay for a book? Not really. You could always get stuff for free. But that is why I think Spotify, and, well, I'd just say Spotify, it's the only one I use, but you got Prime, Amazon Music and stuff. I think Google have got music, haven't they? Apple Music as well. I use Spotify and I stream, and it's just easy. But I do think sometimes, well, what would happen? I don't get all apocalyptic, but if you watch these TV shows or the movies, and they're in a bunker and they've got DVDs or videotapes, CDs, record players, that's the stuff they're using to enjoy their entertainment content. No internet. I don't have any DVDs. I don't have any CDs. I don't have any videotapes. I don't have a video recorder. I don't have a CD player. I don't have a DVD player. Everything is pretty much reliant upon the internet. Take the internet away, and the only thing I'd have would be the television. I mean, as far as viewing, I'd have got books, I've got loads of books, but as far as entertainment goes, I could buy a CD player and stuff like that. But I'm saying the TV, but then take it, so as long as I've got a TV aerial, which I do, that's fine. But the internet, I rely so much on it. I remember we had a power cut here a few years back, and the whole building went down. And it was a little bit annoying because my neighbour, my female neighbour, was actually, it seemed like she liked me, and we were about to have a kind of a date. and eat together in the evening. And we, you know, she was talking about cooking dinner and everything. And then all the lights went off. And then suddenly everybody else from the block, we went downstairs, and they all went downstairs, and everyone came out, and she went into her flat, and that was it. So I felt I missed out on a lovely evening of friendly chatter and fine cuisine, maybe. But I remember remembering that my laptop was charged up, so I didn't need electricity for my laptop. And I thought to myself, ha 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 ha, I can go upstairs. And it wasn't pitch black yet. It was about 5 in the evening in the winter. It was too dark to read a book, but you could get around. You know, it wasn't like dark yet. So I came upstairs, opened the laptop up. It came on. It was all alight. I was like, yeah, I've got light in the room now. I can do stuff on my laptop. I don't need the television. And then I realised that the internet, broadband, needs electricity to work. And that was so annoying. Now I've got broadband that is chargeable, which is mobile broadband. So I've got 2 broadbands. So the mobile one, I've got it charged in all the time. Now, if I take it out, it will last a few hours. So I could actually, in a power cut, I could sit here watching Netflix for a few hours. Or, I mean, it'd be a bit weird looking at a screen in a dark room, but, you know, I could have opened the other screens because all my stuff is charged. So I could open them up and put some light into the room. So I could, or listen to the radio or watch YouTube. So I'd have all that available. So that's quite good. So I kind of sorted that issue out. If it happens again, and they're talking about like power cuts and even organised power cuts, timed power cuts, which seems a bit of a strange thing. I mean, I grew up with power cuts. You know, I remember late 70s, even early 80s, we used to get power cuts very regularly. And sometimes it was exciting, sometimes it really wasn't. You know, especially if I was watching something on television. Yeah. Oh. Oh, that's just, I can't even think about it without. Oh, that's just ridiculous. It's always just at the time when you're about something interesting is about to happen. Anyway, I'm getting all excited again. So I'm going to go. So thank you for listening. Oh, itchy arm. Isn't it strange how quickly? See, these videos go really quickly. You might think, oh, gosh, it's really dragged. It's fine. But I think they go quick. And the weird thing about it is sometimes I will watch a YouTube video that lasts for 5 minutes or 6 minutes, thinking, well, I've got a couple of minutes to spare and I'll just watch that. I'll just quickly watch it. And it just drags. Those 5 minutes seem to last ages. Yet my hour and 15 minutes or whatever I've been doing this for, it just spins by so quickly, like a windy, old, flappy dirt bike. I don't know. Just so it goes very quickly, like a blancmange on a stick. That doesn't even make sense. Anyway, I'm going to go. Thank you for listening. Remember to be kind to yourself and gentle with yourself. because you deserve to be happy. And being gentle with yourself might be the hardest one out of both of them. It might be difficult, but it's worth giving it a go. It's worth practicing, because it seems in this day that people are less gentle than perhaps they could be. Not just to other people, but to themselves. And maybe if we're more gentle to ourselves, we'd be more gentle to others. And I'm not talking about how we even are or act or what we say to others. It's, inside how we're thinking, our emotions. So maybe be a bit more gentle with yourself. Give yourself a break. Just be kind to you. Test it out. Give it a go. So I'm going to go. Thank you for listening. Lots of love. Thank you for watching. Bye.